Do you think there's such a thing as too much RAM in a phone? Well, Huawei doesn't seem to think so. According to fresh rumors, the company could be preparing to launch its very first smartphone with a massive 20 gigabytes of RAM later this year. Yes, you heard that right, 20 gigabytes. That's more memory than many laptops, and if this turns out to be true, it could change what we expect from top-end phones. This news comes from a popular leaker named Digital Chat Station, who says the second flagship series from Huawei in 2025 will include this ultra-high memory option. Most signs point to the upcoming Huawei Mate 80 series, which is currently in development and expected to be unveiled before the end of the year. To put things into perspective, Huawei's current maximum RAM offering is 16 gigabytes. A jump to 20 gigabytes would mark the company's biggest leap in memory ever. For those who aren't familiar with what RAM does, it stands for Random Access Memory. It's the part of your phone that handles all the running apps and processes. More RAM means smoother multitasking, faster app switching, and fewer slowdowns when you've got a lot going on at once. It can also help with performance in gaming, editing, and artificial intelligence features. Other companies have already taken bold steps. OnePlus, for example, has a phone with 24 gigabytes of RAM, so Huawei clearly wants to stay in that race, especially with users who want the absolute best performance. But RAM isn't the only thing. Rumored to be getting an upgrade, Huawei is also said to be testing new chip packaging technology. While this may sound technical, it basically means they're working on more efficient ways to design and build their processors, if successful. This could lead to better 5G speeds, improved power efficiency, and stronger performance overall. The Mate 80 series could be the first to show off these improvements. It's still unclear whether Huawei is developing its own chip for this phone or using one from another supplier, but either way, we're expecting something new on the chipset. It's important to note that this isn't official yet. Huawei hasn't confirmed anything, and like with any leak, plans can change before the final product hits the market. Still, the idea of 20 gigabytes of RAM in a Huawei phone is exciting and shows just how far mobile technology is pushing the limits. Huawei has been known for making solid devices with great cameras and strong build quality, and now it looks like performance might be the next big focus. With rumors pointing to a launch by the end of this year, we might not have to wait long to see what Huawei has in store. This also makes you wonder, do regular users even need that much RAM? For basic tasks like calling, texting, and browsing, probably not, but for heavy users, gamers, and those who rely on their phones for work or creative tasks, that kind of memory could make a real difference. Plus, more RAM could help the phone stay fast and smooth even after years of use. So what do you think? Is 20 gigabytes of RAM just a cool spec to brag about, or something you'd actually use? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like this video if you found it helpful, and subscribe for more simple, useful updates on the latest in tech.
Can you imagine using a phone that folds not just once, but twice? That might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but Samsung is getting ready to make it real. The company is reportedly working on a tri-foldable smartphone, and it could be released before the end of this year. Sounds exciting, right? But before you start saving up, some early leaks suggest it might not check all the boxes people are hoping for. Let's begin with the charging speed. According to a well-known insider, this upcoming phone will only support 25-watt charging. While that might sound fine at first, it's actually pretty slow compared to what other top phones are offering these days. In real-life use, it could feel even slower. Just take a look at what brands like Xiaomi are doing. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra supports 90-watt wired charging, 80-watt wireless charging, and even 10-watt reverse charging. That's more than triple the speed Samsung is expected to offer on this new foldable. Other phone makers are also moving forward with huge batteries. Some are preparing to launch models with 8,000 mAh capacity. Meanwhile, Samsung seems to be playing it safe, and that's exactly what many users find frustrating. Every year, people ask why Samsung doesn't push faster charging or new battery tech, but there's a reason they're being careful. If you remember the Galaxy Note 7, you'll understand. That phone had major battery problems, and Samsung had to recall it completely. Since then, they've been extra cautious with anything related to battery safety. They test everything more than most brands, which means they're slower to adopt faster charging, just to avoid any risks. It might not sound exciting, but it's part of their plan to avoid another major issue. Now about the camera. One thing we've heard is that Samsung might not use under-display cameras on this tri-foldable phone. These types of cameras are hidden under the screen, which looks great, but they usually don't take very good photos. Samsung seems to be leaning toward using the usual punch-hole design instead. However, nothing is final yet. They could still change their mind. It really depends on whether users care more about a clean-looking screen or better photo quality. But the biggest thing people talk about when it comes to foldable phones is the crease. With 2 folds, this new phone will likely have 2 visible creases. Reports say they'll be about the same as what we've seen on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. That means they won't be invisible, but they won't ruin the experience either. What's interesting is that Samsung's next foldable, the Z Fold 7, is expected to come with a much less visible crease. That could help convince people who haven't tried foldables yet. While all this is happening, Apple hasn't launched a foldable phone at all, but they are working on one behind the scenes. Word is, Apple doesn't want to release theirs until they've solved the crease problem completely. Some rumors say we might see a foldable iPhone in 2027, possibly to match the 20th anniversary of the first iPhone. That slower, more patient strategy might actually work well, especially since foldables still aren't as popular as expected. As for Samsung's tri-foldable, it won't be available everywhere. It'll probably launch first in South Korea and then roll out to just a few big markets. With a price of over $2,000, it's clear this phone isn't made for everyone. It's more like a test run for a new concept, and it'll take a few more years before this kind of phone becomes normal for most users. So what do you think? Would you buy a phone that folds in 3 places? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more tech updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thickness. If accurate, the Air model could be nearly half as thick as the Pro version, making it one of the thinnest smartphones ever produced. While this new iPhone might be incredibly slim, it could also come with a larger display. Some leaks suggest that the iPhone 17 Air might feature a screen size of around 6.6 or 6.7 inches, making it larger than the base iPhone 17. This means that despite its thin profile, it wouldn't necessarily be a compact device. Apple may also be making some significant design changes. Several leaked CAD images suggest that the iPhone 17 Air could introduce a horizontal camera bar at the top, similar to what we see on Google's Pixel phones. If this rumor is accurate, the camera bump might add about 4 millimeters of extra thickness, slightly affecting the ultra-thin frame. One of the biggest concerns with ultra-thin phones is battery life. A slimmer design usually means a smaller battery, which can lead to reduced usage time. However, reports suggest that Apple may be working on new high-density energy cells for the iPhone 17 Air. If this technology works as expected, Apple could maintain strong battery performance while keeping the device's form factor as thin as possible. This could help the iPhone 17 Air stand out as not just a stylish device, but also a practical one. Apple is the only company reportedly developing an ultra-thin smartphone. Samsung is rumored to be working on the Galaxy S25 Edge, which could be a direct competitor to the iPhone 17 Air. While details are still scarce, this device may offer a similarly slim design with high-end specifications. If Samsung moves forward with this model, it could create strong competition in markets where both devices are available. As of now, Apple has not officially confirmed the existence of the iPhone 17 Air. All the available information is based on leaks and speculation. However, if these reports are accurate, this model could bring a fresh look to the iPhone lineup, a thinner build